Hey, Mark Davis in the magical moments following our Tuesday, September 17th, 2013 show. And quite predictably, it was 3 solid hours of Washington Navy Yard shooting aftermath talk. It would be the easiest thing in the world for me to devote a video blog right now to the most predictable thing that happened after this event. It's the most predictable thing that happens after any event. The gun grabbers before the bodies hit the floor, the gun grabbers were on it to demonize the weaponry used by this Aaron Alexis fellow, implying his evil intent there at the Washington Navy Yard. An inanimate object. Imagine that. An inanimate object is inherently evil. To watch, for example, Erin Burnett of CNN just gasp in horror at another AR-15, and as we stand right here, the word is coming in that it might not have been an AR-15. She might have to demonize her uncle's shotgun from here on out, but just so there's a weapon to demonize, the left is happy. You know, and it's tempting to spend about 3-4 minutes here just beating these people into submission some more, but I'll tell you what, I'll do that on the show, I'll do that in columns, and it's important that we do. It's very important that we do. If you find yourself growing weary of going after these people in the marketplace of public debate, the gun-grabbing community, don't ever get tired of that. Because if we just go, oh, enough, I can't take it, then they can prevail. People listening to that debate will hear them uncontested, and that's bad. If I can borrow, paraphrase, and change one of my favorite quotes, the only thing necessary for idiocy to succeed is for wise people to say nothing. So hopefully this is wise, and here goes. If guns are not really the issue in this, or hardly any shooting of this type, what is? In this particular case, I think there are two. One is security clearances. Do we need another Edward Snowden or another thing like this for us to learn that maybe we're throwing out security clearances to people who really don't deserve them, people who are not particularly mentally sound. And maybe they were mentally sound and you know, fairly with it when they got those clearances, but maybe something happens afterward. Maybe security clearance is like a welfare check. Once you have it in your hand, it's very hard to wrestle it away. Clumsy analogy, I'm sure you know what I mean. That rather than refusing, refraining, and giving something to someone, once they have it, and that becomes the default setting. It's like, well, we can't take away Bill's security clearance, so he'll be upset or something. And the other thing that really upsets people is when you gather them and sit them down and they say, you know, you might be too crazy to own a gun. You might be a little too wheels off to have your security clearance. And then we get into the mental health issues. Once again, let's go to Seattle, let's go to Fort Worth and find all the folks who said, wow, this guy had anger management issues, he was hearing voices, he shot the tires off somebody's car in Seattle a few years ago in something that he called an anger-related blackout. I've been angry in my life. I've blacked out in my life, but never because of anger. And if there are two kinds of people. People who have had anger-related blackouts and those who have not. If you're in the admittedly small group of people who have, maybe you don't need to own a gun. Maybe you don't need to be getting security clearances. Where is our barometer for this? I mean, we already know in the Nidal Hassan case that you can be a total bug-eyed jihadist and we'll let you climb the ranks of the United States military. Are we unable to stop even our thoroughly mentally unstable people from getting security clearances and weapons? I'm Mr. Weaponry. I'm Mr. Second Amendment. That means there are two things I want to do. Protect your right and mine to own whatever weaponry we wish under the Second Amendment, but that's to keep this guy from doing it if he is stone cold crazy or has a criminal history. So it's easy to say, apparently very hard to do. So those are the constructive debates that move forward, and we'll move forward with tomorrow's show every day, The Mark Davis Show from 7:10 a.m. We appreciate you listening. Agree, disagree, we're taking all comers, and we appreciate you here at 6:60 a.m. The Answer.